Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy YouTube Blue coming back at you again, and not really happy right now. Just got to finish watching the Carolina Panther Cowboy game, and of course, you guys that actually seen the game, or if you were on Mark's stream or whatever have you, um, it's a sloppy ass game, just sloppy. I mean, when you look at your first regular season game, most most of the time guys are all in. You look at other teams in this league. You look at what the Ravens did. It was like 47-3. They beat a team. Now again, there were quarterbacks out there that didn't do well. Like Nathan Peterman did so bad that they had to pull him from the game. But I ain't worried about the Bills. That's neither here nor there. But as far as the Cowboys game goes, I have to give Carolina credit. Their defense is great. You know, Kwan Short. Um, what's that boy name? Don Terry Poe and the rest of their defense, Luke Kuechly and all them. Like, I mean, they have a very stout defense. They are a very hybrid team the way they play. Again, what I said in my video before the game that basically when you rush this team, which our defense did very well this game, mind you. I'm very happy on how they played. They just got to continue that. I just wish that our offense would have done the same and did their part, which they didn't. You look at you look at Carolina and the way that Cam Newton plays. I mean, any seam that you get this guy, he's going to exploit it. Either he's going to pass the ball or he's going to run through it. And again, I think he was the leading rusher on his team, which Cam Newton normally is. That's pretty much what it is. What did I say before last week? That we have to win these NFC South games because it is important for us to get into the playoffs, to get that wild card spot, whatever spot that we're trying to get in to get into the playoffs. If we're gonna win, if we're gonna be a good team this year, bottom line is we got to win these games. There's no playing around. One thing that kills me about this coaching staff that we have right now is the simple fact that I get it. I get that they wanted to sit Zeke. I get that they didn't play Dak Prescott that often because of the offensive line. They didn't want them to get hurt. I get it. They were afraid. But look at it like this. You got these cold players coming in. Yes, they've been in the league a couple of years. But again, being in football shape is different than just being in regular shape. Again, I'm not speaking from experience because I never played in the NFL, but you look at common sense to tell you, you're looking at how they're playing. They're sluggish. They can't get off on the ball. It's just it's not conducive to them playing. The fact that Zeke didn't play or got hit at all in the preseason, and then you try to come in a game and actually get hit, it's not the same. It's not the same. You you're not gonna win like that. And we know that Zeke has a tendency to come into come into the league, or I mean, come into the season and not do well his first and second game. But again, that's about conditioning. You got to get yourself right. You got to run, and like I said, I'm not saying that Zeke's not in shape, but when you don't play football for a certain amount of time and you just go out there, it takes time to get acclimated with that. Some of you guys say Dak is trash and this and that. Dak is what he is. All right. Now, I'm not gonna be too hard on him. And again, I'm not a homer for Dak. I speak the truth on everything. Now, I don't think that he sucks. It's just that again, he doesn't know how to read defenses that well. Now, I don't know if this is something that he would eventually get better at, which I hope he does. But I have seen progression in him. It's not like when you look at Dak, you do see that he's gotten better since he's gotten in the league. But the problem is I think the biggest problem, I bet you that if Dak played on a different team with a different coaching staff that knew how to use him, because again, our coaching staff has issues with using our players correctly. Our play calling is just it's a disappointment. You almost feel like they just keep running the same 3 to 5 plays every other series over and over again. It's just like you just keep seeing the same thing. You just get so predictable, and it's like, come on now, do something different. Teams know you're gonna run the ball. That's fine, but like I said in the earlier videos, use ways to manipulate that. Now, the wide receiver core didn't help at all. You could tell that they're still trying to learn Dak, and Dak's still trying to learn them, which I understand that. But again, when Dak's running out of the pocket, these wide receivers, Terrence Williams knows, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't in the game half the time because he only had one catch. Um, these new receivers has to learn to come back to the ball. Whenever they should know this is common sense. I'm not even in the league and I know this. Whenever you're a wide receiver and the play breaks down and the quarterback's scrambling, trying to find somebody to throw the damn ball to, you need to come back to the ball and make it easier for your quarterback to get it instead of just sitting on the fucking route and just stopping when the play breaks down. You have to keep moving around to get the ball. Let's go, receivers. Now Cole Beasley did have he filled up the stat sheet. He did. But again, we got to do better. We have to do better. Because then we're just sitting here like, oh, well, we got to bring Dez back. Oh, I wish Jason Witten was still here. Again, we wouldn't be screaming about none of these players that do no longer play on the team if we do our job. Do your damn job. That's all you got to do. Again, this schedule ain't going to get easier. We got the Giants next week, and you look at Saquon Barkley, that boy out there doing the damn thing. He looking like Zeke from his rookie year. So again, I know that Zeke's going to get it because, again, it's just what Zeke does. He plays bad the first game of the season, comes back second and third, and then he starts dominating the rest of the season. I get it. But again, Dak got to get his shit together. Dak got to do better. This offensive line has to do better. Everybody has to play their role right now. Because, again, football is a team sport. It's not just one person. Because, again, if the receivers ain't doing their part, the quarterback looks bad. And vice versa. Like, it works two ways. The wide receivers can't catch the ball if the quarterback ain't doing his job. And the quarterback can't do his job if the receivers can't catch the ball. Now, again, it comes down to this coaching staff. This coaching staff gets too goddamn comfortable with they just get comfortable for whatever reason. You act like we won a Super Bowl last year. Coaching staff, get your head out of your asses and coach. Or you're gone, period. Because I'm telling you, and those of you fans that keep saying, oh, we should go ahead and tank, that sounds good. But that's not fandom. That's not being a real fan. As a fan, you should never want your team to tank a season, no matter what's going on. Yes, it makes sense in that aspect if you're saying, oh, let's tank so the coach can get fired. Okay, then what? If you don't bring the right coaching staff in here for this team, then what you gonna do? It's the same thing all over again. You don't need a passive coach. You need a coach that's going to come in here and be hard-nosed, hard-ass on these players and get them to shape the fuck up. Period. So at the end of the day, you look at what Chris Richard is doing. You see that his presence is being felt. This defense was doing good. They were getting pressure. DeMarcus Lawrence got his sack, and they were sacking. They were getting pressure. And if we keep getting this pressure, we'll be good. But again, next week, that Giants defensive line, you got Snacks Harrison over there. You got to be careful. You got Landon Collins over there. I'm telling you, like, the schedule don't get easy. Then you got Seattle week 3. Okay. All right. So you don't want to mess around and drop 0-2 and 0-3 because you start slipping. You go ahead and kiss this season goodbye. Now, again, it's still early. I'm never down on my Cowboys, but I need this coaching staff to do their part to help these players out. And again, players have to do their part as well. I'm not giving them a pass because they played like crap. But again, it's an effort of both sides of both players and coaches to do their job. You look at I looked at the Eagles. Their team was kind of trashy, but again, I think they're going to get it together too. The Redskins look good. They beat the Cardinals. And the Giants look good. Even though they lost, they look good right now. Odell Beckham had like a ridiculous, he had 11 receptions for 100, I think it was 111 catches or something like that, or 146. It was some ridiculous. So many, if you look at half these games around this league, a lot of these players had over 100 yards catching. Pittsburgh had 2 receivers get more than 50 yards catching. I'm It's embarrassing because you already know that First Take is gonna crush this team. NFL Network is gonna crush this team, and this is why they kept saying that the Cowboys were only gonna win 5 to 7 games this season. And if we keep doing this, then we're gonna prove these people right. We cannot prove these people right. And again, as I digress, fellow Cowboy fans, y'all gotta act right too. Stop bashing other Cowboy fans, because again, we have to work together as far as supporting our damn team. If you're a real Cowboy fan, support your team the right way. Don't be trashy like the Eagle trolls. Don't be trashy like these other teams. We, as Dallas Cowboy fans, have been one of the few fandom teams outside of New England and Pittsburgh, and I would say the Ravens fans too, that are loyal to their team. Don't get on this bandwagon shit talking about some. Oh yeah, well we can't do anything. Oh, so we might as well just forget it and scrap the season. No, I'm telling y'all right now. Listen to me. Support the team. Yes, this game was some trash, but we have to look at the positive. We have to look at what we did with our defense and how we got so much pressure. We just got to get the offense up the snuff. So again, I think that they can do it. It's probably gonna take a couple of weeks because again, throughout preseason, this first team offense has not played together completely. So it's almost like I don't want to say it's almost like the first game is like a preseason game because you're still learning each other on the field. And again, because preseason is really for the people trying to make the team, not for the veterans, unfortunately. So they don't get to play that often. Now, just a couple of stats. I wrote it down. So you look at Dak Prescott's stats this game as opposed to Cam Newton. They were kind of similar. So Dak had he was 19 for 29 with 170 yards, and then ran 5 times for 19 yards. Now, again, continue using that RPO, Dak. He will definitely be able to do some things. We have to do more things with Tavon Austin. I mean, don't just put him in there and then just hand him the ball or just do a stupid little jet sweep and just think that that's going to fool the defense. You have to be smart about it. Like I said before, put both of Ezekiel in there, fake it to Zeke, give it to Tavon. Or put both of them in there, fake it to Tavon, and run it yourself. Like, Dak has the ability to do it. It's just that I just feel like the lack of creativity with this staff is just it's just my god, like it's annoying as hell right now. Ezekiel Elliott didn't do much in the first half, but they started gaining momentum in the third and fourth quarter. So he ended up with only 15 carries, 69 yards. He had a 4.6 average, and he actually scored a touchdown. So that's something to. It's almost like they were trying to come back at the end of the game, but then that late game fumble it just crushed the dreams. It's like they could have came back and won if they really wanted to. Another big thing too that I'll save that to the end because I know you guys are feeling the same thing I'm feeling about it, but I'm gonna speak on that as well. One bright spot though in the offense, Cole Beasley has 7 catches for 73 yards, 10.4 yard average. Now that ain't no dink and dunk. That's definitely down the field and then run after catch. You look at Deontay Thompson. He came in there. He had 3 for 27, a 9-yard average. He didn't really get any catches to close to the end of the game himself, too. Allen Hurns had 1 for 20. Jeff Swain had 3 for 18. Ezekiel Elliott had 3 for 17. Michael Gallup had 1 for 9. Terrence Williams had 1 for 6. I feel like Terrence Williams didn't really get in there that much. I don't know if they're starting to not really like Terrence or if they know that this is Terrence's last year and they're just like, all right, we're just going to play it like this. I've heard some of you say that you wanted Dez to come back. First of all, that bridge is burnt. Dez already said in the tweet himself, he said, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to be with a team that don't allow me to be passionate and be myself." I guess I can't blame you for that because he is a passionate guy, and he wants to be a part of a team that allows his individuality. I feel like I will agree to some point that sometimes the Cowboys brass, it seems like they're trying to control these players too much and don't give them much of an individuality. But they do allow them to have their social media and stuff like that. Because some teams don't even let their players even use their social media at all while they're at the facility. So that's just that one. So on defense, DeMarcus Lawrence got 6 tackles, 1 sack. Jeff Heath got 5 tackles. Byron Jones got 5. Kayvon Frazier got 7, despite the fact that he had that messed up shoulder. I'm sorry. Awuzie 4 tackles. Jalen Smith got 4. Tyrone Crawford had 3. Leighton Vander Esch had 3 in the little time he played. Anthony Brown and Sean Lee both had 3. Now, Sean Lee, he had times where he was playing well, but again, he's a little rusty too because he didn't play at all that much in the off season, nor did he do anything in preseason. So again, these guys are rusty. They got to get in there, got to do it. Overall, I think Joe Looney did his thing, but Connor Williams made some mistakes in the game. Connor Williams, again, don't be down on Connor Williams right now, because I heard y'all say, "Oh, he's weak and this and that." He has to. You got to understand when you come from college, and yeah, he went to Texas, but you come from college and you play in a division where you're one of the best players. You're not going to find many players that are as good as you. If you're one of the best, you may find a couple of them that's close to your level, but you're able to dominate because these guys aren't as strong as you, and they're not as good as you. Half these players don't even make it to the NFL. So for you to get to the NFL and your first regular season game, you play against a stout defense. Carolina Panthers have one of the best defensive fronts in the league. So for Connor Williams to come in there and even do half good is a plus because of the simple fact that you know that he can only get better from there. Yes, he made some mistakes. Yes, he let some guys bull rush him. But again, that comes with the learning experience. You can't. That's like you starting a new sport and you're coming in there and these guys been doing this for years and it's your first time competing against these guys. They're gonna know how to beat you because they know all the tricks of the trade. You don't know it yet. You still got to learn it, and that's the bottom line with that. So it just comes to it's a learning process. And again, Travis Frederick is not there to bail him out because Joe Looney is not Travis Frederick to. Joe Looney is good enough to do his job, but he's not good enough to help Connor Williams out to help him to do his job too, if you understand what I'm saying. So again, have patience with that offensive line. That'll get better as the weeks go along too. So again, I'm not going to be bleak about it. I'm not going to be negative about it. I'm going to keep it moving. As a Dallas Cowboy fan base, come on, y'all. Let's stick together and just keep this moving. We can squabble. We can harp on this tonight, but tomorrow, is what I like to call Sadness Monday, or Lose Monday, whatever we want to call it. Vent about it, and keep it moving. Because come Tuesday, got to get ready for those Giants. And you got to beat those New York Giants if we want to do anything. Not only that's a division rival. You got to win. You got to get a W. And I just hope that the Cowboys get it together. I hope Dak gets it together. I hope Zeke gets it together. And the rest of this offense get these wide receivers on point with Dak, so they can succeed and win this damn game. So I think that's all I'm going. Oh yeah, last thing, Brett Maher, because again he's Canadian, so they pronounce it Maher. Shout out to all my Canadian people. He missed a field goal that could have changed the game, but not really. We probably still would have lost. It just would have been 11-16 instead of 8-16 final score. But again, as I digress, it doesn't look good that Maher missed his first field goal right after they cut a Pro Bowler and the best kicker that we had in franchise history. It makes you want to question, y'all cut Dan Bailey for this? You might as well have kept Dan Bailey. Dan Bailey could have missed that too. So, I don't know. I stopped questioning stuff because I don't ever get answers anyway. So it is what it is. But I know y'all gonna let me know what y'all think in the comments. So like, share, comment. It's your boy E2. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a great evening.